We are live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Monday Night Live. Thank you so much for joining us and having a little bit of a chill out for us this evening. So first off, a little bit later on, we aren't going to have Mr. Todd come and join us because it's his birthday. It's his 60th today, so he will be celebrating that. He's getting his bus pass, I think, this weekend, so that's going to be very cool for him. But he's going to be doing that. So I have got young Richard Vaping V1CK coming and hanging out with me. It's been a little while since we've had a chat to Rich, so that will be pretty sweet. Looking forward to that. However, just a little bit of housekeeping. As per usual, the first 10 minutes of this vlog are just going to be me saying hello to people in the chat. So if you are in the chat, let me know who you are and where you're from. Always interested to know around the world where people are. That wasn't the right way around, but you know what I'm saying. And then we'll get into it. Got a little bit of kind of random stuff to talk about, a little bit of news, a little bit of what we're vaping on, and then we'll just do sort of a Q&A and a random bullshit and all that sort of good stuff as per usual. Cool. If you're watching this on replay, just skip the next 10 minutes and then you'll get into the meat and taters of this here vlog. So let's have a little look and see who is in chat. Mr. Vaping V1CK is in chat already. That's always good. Colette, good evening. How you doing? Palazzo, hi all. Hey Dean, how are things? Hope you're having a great Monday. I'm from Scotland. All right, Campbell, thank you very much indeed. Vaping biker Rick Mason is in the chat. There we go. Thank you very much, Rick. Alex McKenzie, Andy Fairchild. Jezza Gates is from Boiling Hot, Hampshire. It is hot, 29.2 degrees in this here studio at the moment, and I've just turned the lights on, so you're going to see me melt like the Wicked Witch of the West. In fact, I'm getting a little bit glossy as we speak, but there we go. Anyway, let's have a little look and see. I'll be mopping the face tonight. See who else we've got going on here in chat. So then, what have we got? Hi Dean, how's things? Get the bottles. Alistair Robinson, yes. Defogs, I did just get the stainless steel Basium today, or the brush finish Basium. Great stuff. It's great. Hello from Michigan, says Alex Phipps. Kevin Mann, good evening, Dean, and all. Sweating here in South Oxfordshire. Mr. Moist, which is very relevant, I think, in this kind of temperature, is in hot and sweaty here in Sheffield, my bearded friends, says Mr. Moist. James Whiting is in. Hello from Reading. Reading. How you doing, James? Nice to see you. Jim Old Ockeye the New from rainy wet Dundee, says Jim Hull Mark. Good evening, Dean, from deepest, darkest Gloucestershire. Gloucestershire. Steve Clark, how you doing? For Steve and Helen, my favorite couple. Boom, a little grim green fist bump to you guys there. Hello to you guys over there in Rugby. Andy Fairchild is over in Bristol also. Have we got a few Bristolians in here this evening? I think we have. Craig Dewar, evening from Scotland. Dean Mobile, Alabama. All right, Allchurch, how you doing? We've got Darren is in Milton Keynes. Nice to see you, Darren. Hello from Colorado, says Geronimo Galagos. Let's go with that one. Granny Vapes. Hey there, Dean. Hey there, Granny Vapes. How you doing? I hope you're well. Carl Copson, hey Dean, from Rugby. Hope you're doing good. Sweating in places you don't. I'm wearing a black shirt so you don't see the under moob sweat this evening. What else we got? Roman Prekop, hi there, currently from Hungary. Hello, Roman. How you doing? Wolf Hart, hello from Egypt. Hello, Wolf. Fantastic name. Lucky Vapes. Hiya. How you doing? Stuart Legg, hi, how you doing? Yes, 808. Hi, Dean. Kinnot. It is Kinnot. It flipping is. MTN Tom is in the house. All right there, Tom. How you doing? Whoop, and the chat's just gone. Oh, all kinds of bonkers for me now. Look, what? Oh, I've got no idea where I was. So I'm gonna have to just launch in and hope that I'm kind of somewhere where I was. So we had MTN coils in, used MTN coils in the review I did this morning, and you can go and see those at mtncoils.co.uk. James McDonough, Alex McKenzie, 18 wheels of vaping. How's it going, Dean? From the big roads of the US. I hope you're not driving whilst watching. Zach Stone, yo to Zach. And Snaggletooth, hi from sunny Sheringham, just up the road there. Nice to see you over there in Sheringham. Vaping Bigfoot, hello from Ohio. Hallmark, and hello chat, he says. Raining like good in here in Fife. Well, Ophidian Vapes. Go and check out Ophidian Vapes' channel. But it's Scotland, so it rains there 90% of the time, doesn't it? I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. Right. What else have we got? Orchard. I was just saying hello to people in chat. It's quite moist today, says Mr. Oh, yeah, it is quite moist today. Dave Ape says hi from Tunbridge Wells. James McDonough is in London. Nick Not Green. See what you did there? Will Richard be able to bring the sophistication to the stream that it truly needs? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. I don't think he's gone full Plumes of Hazard with tearing off the sleeves of his shirt just because it's so hot. So I imagine he'll be looking spiffy as always. What else have we got? How you doing? Bless, she's warm in Chroma. How you getting on? Says Diddy. Yeah, it is. Geronimo is in Colorado. Jason Gwindon is in New Brunswick. David Smith is in New Orleans. Alex, Stan's in. All right, Stan, nice to see the patrons in. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, guys and gals. Hello, Dean from New Orleans, says David Smith. I really want to go to New Orleans. New Orleans just seems like it's a cool place. Is it always partying in New Orleans? It looks like it's always partying in New Orleans. Mavin Norton, hey, Vaping Bucket, great to be able to see you live from Con. I don't know where Con is, but thank you very much. Great to be able to have you come and join us. Lois is in the house. Hey, Lois, how you doing? Berry Hot, hello from 114 degrees, Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know what 114 degrees in real money is. What's that in Celsius? Give me something to work on here. If I was clever, I'd know, but I'm not, so I don't. Evening from Cardiff. Sick of the heat, says Dog Sniffer. That's a charming name, isn't it? Billy the Kid. Hi, biker from Iceland. Hello, Iceland. How you doing? Oh, and the chat's just gone all again. Right, where have we got? Am I going to be able to catch up with myself? What's up, Dean? Sorry if I miss you here, but Legion Vapes is here in from Australia. Michael Briggs is in Reading. Sick Boy is in Amish country, Pennsylvania. Dazzy Vapes from Shropshire. Mick Blizzard is in. Oh, hello, how are we doing? Dutch Mr. D. Hey, from the hot Netherlands. You can tell it's hot when it's hot. They're really hot. Miraculous. What was that song? Anyway, moving on quickly. Hottest day of the year, says Alex McKenzie. I think we're going to be having hotter in the camp. We've got a heat warning going on here in this part of the world. What else have we got going on? Who else? Oh, you see, look, I've gone too far. Dave is in Tunbridge Wells. Did I say that? I did say that. I went too far when I scrolled up. I went too far. OID made the mistake of taking my RDA to the beach yesterday. Oh dear. See, you can go to the beach. I've never, even when I was walking properly, I didn't like the beach just because, as careful as you wanted to be, you could put 2 feet on the sand just to try it out, and you'd get home and find sand in your undercrackers. Not for me, that. Have it freaking large, says Hans Hoffer from Austria. I will certainly try, and I hope you are as well. Atlanta, says Stephen Smithick. Jesse Heidenreich from Michigan. Heidenreich, did I get that right, Jesse? I hope so. Hello from Dubai. Bloody hot here. Well, it's always bloody hot there, isn't it? What else have we got here? Oh, and the chat's gone again. Oh my word. Right. I think I'm just going to have to bypass a bunch of, because every time I try and scroll the chat delicately, it just goes woof, woof, and then I can't find where I'm going. Oh, look at that. Look, we've got a donation from Trucking Vapes. How would you rate the J Hayes review on the Basium, and where you're trying to save trees with the packaging? Greeting from Tennessee. People can have whatever review they want to it, really. That makes no skin off my nose. As I said on my original video, I knew it wasn't going to be for everybody, and that's fine. It's vaping. You can't please everybody, and that's just one of those things. So people want to speak their mind about it and have their opinion, they can have their opinion. No skin off my nose at all. So yeah, crack on. I'm not, not bothered. Was I trying to save trees? Yes, in a little way. Yes, I was. Just trying to do a little bit, because I just think that we go through so much packaging in vaping. Why not have a little go at doing something that's just a little bit greener, just a little bit of a thing? And if other companies companies take it on, or whatever else, then that's got to be a good thing, hasn't it? So when I designed it as a recycled thing, and it was a bit of a shock to Doppo when I said that's what I wanted, but they got it done. So there we go. Most important thing for me is where can I buy the Bassium other than the UK and the USA? Hello from Poland. I don't know, but it's worth seeing if Evolution Vaping will send to Poland. I don't know anywhere in Poland that's got it at the moment, although I know one of the distributors that's picked it up does ship some stuff over there. So I'll see if I can find out any more about that one. But otherwise, ask your local vape shop to get it in. What else we got? Will you be singing to Todd this evening? No, because he's not here. If he was here, obviously, we'd be all over it. But no, he's not. So there you go. All right. Now, I've scrolled it down. So if I didn't see you, then I do apologize. Horsham Heating, new to your channel, fella. It's good. Thanks very much. What bikes you're running? There is a link to, I think, one of the last runs I had of my Shadow in the description of every video. There's a link to a video where that's all featured. So you can go and see all that in there. Right. Good. So I will try and see you if I haven't seen you at the moment, and try and say hello to you. But this has gone on way too long already. So let's bring on. I tried to get him. He was on the ball a little bit more than.
You hesitated.
I did. How you doing, fella?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very warm, but otherwise, and I've got my blue roll next to me, and I'll be dabbing at every moment where you're talking, I think.
I know. You have to be careful not to use the same cloth that you use for juice.
Yes,
as you do for your face.
Yes, that would go horribly wrong. So for those of you that don't know, Richard is the wonderful Mr. Vaping V1CK on the YouTubes. He does some very lovely videos and is a very nice man to sit there and watch. Very relaxing voice, as you'll find out this evening. So go and check out him if you've not done so already. Thank you very much indeed. So tell us about what you've been up to. What have you been up to this week? Have you done a bunch of videos? What kind of stuff you're looking at? And anything cool come in or anything like that?
Yeah, so I've just done the EH Pro 101 Pro, which is a big old regulated tube.
Okay, yeah, I think it was last week on the Monday Night Live. Someone was asking about regulated tubes, and me and Mark couldn't remember which ones were out. But that one's had a bit of a thing going on for it, hasn't it?
Yeah, so they did an 18650 one about 6 months ago, and yeah, it was. It was really good. It did really well. Like you say, there's not a lot of them about, and it was functionally excellent, really, for the price point. And so now it's literally the same, but comes with a 21700 now. Goes up to 75 watts, and comes with an interesting RDA. It's one of these push fit.
Oh, you throw the. Hang on, let me just pop the camera on you so people can.
It's like a notch coil.
Okay.
So you just push it in. If anyone remembers the Wanko.
Wasn't there? There is something else that does that at the moment, and I think who's that from? Is that Joy? No,
EH Pro.
I am confident I've had a tank or something that I've cleaned recently that does a similar kind of thing, but I could be wrong. Hang on.
The ones from a little while ago were rubbish.
Yeah, no, here we go. Notch core. I don't know who does this, but I cleaned this. Where's my thing? Focus.
It's just like a fuse type thing.
Yeah, but here.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the kit, isn't it? And that is the notch core tank. It goes. It's got the full matchings going on there.
Oh, and a tank.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't remember for the life of me who does it. I know I wasn't super impressed with it.
Does it not say on the base?
No, that would be too fucking useful. Right now, it just says notch core, and that's it.
There we go. Like seeing a struggle.
Oh yeah. So if anyone in chat knows, it's a Joytech tank, says Alex McKenzie. So there we go. A Joytech. Is Joytech and EH Pro linked?
No.
Wow. Ooh,
But neither of those two were the first to do a notch, were they?
no. The Wanko. Well,
Wismec, was it? Well, no, the Wanko did the push in, yeah.
yeah, but no, with the notch. Was it?
It was at Matt Cully, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Submo mod tank.
Yeah. It's a single coil RDTA, and it just came with those as a bonus.
Yeah. Okay.
Very on.
I can't remember. So what else you got? Tell us what else is going on.
Oh yeah, so I did that. I've just done a little video on the D Pro Mini. A little bit late to the party on that one.
Yes, I saw that go up today. I've not watched it yet. What's your thoughts on that bugger?
I think it's a really nice RDA. I really like the flavor. It's sort of lower wattage RDA. Reminds me of like the Karma and the Hadley and all those sort of things. I think it's very well done. The one thing I said in my video for it was the drip tips. I don't know if you've experienced that. A lot of drip tips go through too far.
Yeah,
they're a bit long, and so with it being so low profile, you just got to be careful if you're not using one of the drip tips provided.
Yeah.
So that there was that, and yeah, and I just sort of a little thing about. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook and Instagram and things saying no need to get a more expensive RDA because of the D Pro. And although that's true, I don't think it's a suitable use for an attack on the higher end, because the D Pro Mini wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the ones that have come before it. So.
There is also that kind of like we talk about quite often. It's one of those things where yes, you can get a lot of really good cheap RDAs, but with a lot of not all, but a lot of high end RDAs, you get more for your money, in as much as you kind of your after service and your parts and all sorts of bits and pieces and shits and giggles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So although I think it's probably the best budget single coil squonky RDA right now, the D Pro Mini.
It's one of the what? Sorry,
one of the best budget squonky RDAs right now
for a super restricted airflow. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now I know that Steve, I don't know if Steve is in chat tonight so far, but he posted a picture on Todd's group that he got a blue Coil Art D Pro Mini, and it had ever so slightly larger holes. Do you see that?
Oh no.
Yeah, just ever so slightly. And I think he said that it was just a hint more air coming through, but I can't really remember, to be honest. Hopefully he comes in the chat and lets us know about that one.
Oh right, okay. I might have a blue one lying around.
Worth checking out, because I got mine so long ago. I think I got mine before. It seems like I got mine before any other bugger, because the reviews are sort of only trickling out now.
I got mine very late. Yeah, they seem to go in waves with Coil Art.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know what happened there. And then just in the door today, I've just showed you this, haven't I?
Yeah, I'm going to put the camera on you.
I've literally just been building it while you've been saying hello to everyone. This is the new Wismec Squonker. There we go. It's
fucking ugly though, isn't it?
I think they've gone for like a Damascus type thing here.
Is that just engraved in there? Is it?
Yeah, it's an interesting looker. That's interesting. If the screen is very DNA, I don't think. I mean, like insanely DNA. Same font, same color, layout. I don't know if it is one or not. I don't know, but
can you turn it off? If you can do 5 clicks and it turns off, then it won't be.
Oh yeah, good point. Oh yeah, that's true. It does. 5 clicks, it just goes straight off.
Wow.
It doesn't want to know my atomizer.
Whoops! You've broken it already. Have you done it
already? I've broken it 3 times already.
Do you want to tell people what the party pieces on that one was that you were telling me earlier on?
So, okay, so it's very early days, so no one hold me to any of this information. But when you open it up and you take the bottle out, it gives you instructions for how to put another battery in. So it may work, and it also comes with this to cover up that hole. And so I think it's a Squonker or a dual 21700 parallel regulated mod. And it also came with, and I've never received one of these in the spares before. Bored.
It's fantastic.
So yeah, I'm really gonna have to read something about this mod before I go too deep with it.
Well, surely they. Wow, that's weird. It'll be interesting to find out if anyone else gets the board with this as well, because that's not cricket.
No, they're definitely getting the board. It literally came all packed up, lovely inside the box. There's a special place for it.
That's bonkers.
Is that a little treat for the modders, or do you have to swap board if you want to use more watts?
Yeah, or could that be? Was there any potentiometer? No. So maybe that second board is just like for a straight regulated voltage mod, maybe?
Yeah, so I think the only sort of logical thing I can think is you put the other battery in, and then you've got the choice if you wanna to put the other board in and maybe get volts or maybe get more watts or.
But presumably the board that's in there at the moment is wired into where the things are, the buttons and the things and the 510 and the stuff and the what have you.
Yeah, well, it's opening her up. It's got a huge squonk bottle as well. Really big squonk bottle. That's the bottle that comes with it. That's a traditional squonk bottle.
Yeah.
Very big. I don't know, looks about 10 mil. So very big bottle. And then where the bottle is, there is actually the battery. Oh, you're not going to be able to see, but the battery contacts as well. You see the two little, and then the feeding thing is just on the inside of those.
Oh, yeah.
But the feeding bit can be ignored.
Ah, and you'd have to put the battery negative up for that, wouldn't you?
Yes. So it would be parallel. It is parallel, yeah.
Well, bloody hell. That's a thing.
Bit of work to do there. But so a bit of work to do on that one. But interesting. But I do agree at first sight, it's not the prettiest. Not the prettiest at all. And I don't know anything about this RDA that came with. Luxottic MF box is the Luxottic MF box is the oh, it's just a Guillotine V2 but with the engravings on.
Oh, okay.
So the same as the previous Luxottic, which was mechanical.
Gotcha.
So yeah, a bit of work to do there, but always interesting.
Yeah.
If I sincerely hope I do not have to switch board in the video.
Please, can you do it live? Just do a live stream.
That would be amazing.
You know, like an unboxing once you figured it out, but just kind of go, oh, this is how this works, just in case you don't know. Because I want to see you trying to do it. I think that'd be brilliant.
Yeah. It's the prospect is terrifying. The Legend from ePhoenix has the RDTA mode and the RDA mode.
Oh,
that in of itself, switching between those is going to be hellish enough on camera.
I don't think that's going to be too bad. I think you'll be all right with that one. I think
there's a few moving parts.
Huh?
There's a few moving parts.
Yeah. That's one of those things where you want to do it all over a tray with kind of sides that come up. So when you do drop everything, at least you can find everything.
Yeah, you've got like your insulators that come out and go back in. Yeah, fun times ahead. A couple of tricky products to do.
So, have you done any videos of late that? I mean, obviously you said about the D-Pro one earlier on. Have you done any others that you kind of you've been impressed about, or you've anything that's been interesting?
I don't know if you guys have covered this, but I like the Drop Dead. I like the Drop Dead RDA.
Yes. Now,
solid.
We talked about that when I first got mine in. And I've got mine in dripping mode at the minute, just as because it's coming to the end of the quite extensive testing on this one, because I don't understand it. I don't understand how it works. I like it. I like the flavor, and I love the draw. I really enjoy using it. But when you I did this on the live stream, when you purge, the vapor goes straight out.
Yeah.
So it means that the little jobby under the lip of that sort of is supposed to sort of guide down that airflow coming in on that top rung there doesn't do anything in my book. So I can't see how the air is getting to the coil, but apparently it is.
Yeah, I agree. I did the exact same thing. When I did the review, I kind of just didn't get into it, really. But like I've seen Mark sort of say in his as well, you can look right through. You can look right through the air holes to the other side. So I don't think that slant is doing much, and the video's been up a little while now, and I'm still getting comments in. You didn't mention the top cap. You didn't mention the airflow. It's like it's because it's not a thing. I don't think it's a thing. I like the vape, but I don't think the airflow's going in multi-directional. Yeah, like you say, when you purge it, comes straight out.
Exactly. And I know one of the things that people had an issue with the dead rabbit is if you purged it and you forgot which direction it was in, that looked dodgy. Just fucking load of vapor right in the eyeball, and that was never good fun.
But I like the vape. And that's, you know, that's the key. I think it's I've always liked the deck. It's essentially the drop deck, isn't it?
Yes.
And then overall I think that's quite nice. The other RDA, I'm sure you've got one of these, the Warrior.
Yes, I wanted to talk about that in a bit.
Yes. Yeah, you got some communication from them today, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, good point, actually. Well done.
But I've got to say I like the look. I like the look on the Dreamer.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is the fanciest drip tip I've ever been sent. As standard with an RDA. But I like the Warrior from Watofo.
Nice, but now you've made me try and remember what that was all about. Now here we go, I found it now. Okay, so we'll come back. We'll just pop that on the shelf for the moment. We'll come back to that in a minute. Anything else that you want to talk about for the last week from stuff, either videos or new shit in that you've been super excited about?
The only other thing was you got this as well. The EQ.
Yes. Now I think I've got those. I think those turned up today, but I'm going to unbox them for my patrons tomorrow. So
okay,
is those? I know I've got an Inakin box, but I don't know what's in it.
Won't give too much away, but this is So this is the new EQ. This is the new pod system from Inakin, and it really is a pod system. You can put whatever juice in you like, but the mouthpiece and coil are as one. You can't take the coil out of here. You literally swap all of that every time the vape gets bad.
Nice. And haven't they got coils that they've used in other things in there? Did I read?
I think it's very, very similar concept to the mesh coils in the Zenith, the newly released mesh low wattage coils that are in the Zenith.
Yeah.
The one extra trick that this has got over a lot of these style of systems is there's an extra way I haven't figured out yet of getting more power. It has a more power mode.
Okay, is that not just going to be like a triple click on the power button or something like that?
Well, Inakin's is on off on 3 clicks.
Good point. Good point.
So I don't know. 1, 2, 3. I could spend my whole life. How many possible combinations are there with one button? Aha! So you turn it off and you hold it down, and it lights up red. Then when you turn it back on, it's in a hotter mode. It's slightly more watts. So
now do you turn it off and turn it on again, and it's in a cooler mode again?
So yeah, there's a bit more power going in there. 1, 2, 3, and then to turn it on, there we go. So when it flashes, that's when it changes back to white. It's normal lower wattage mode. So that it's got that extra trick, but it's very, very similar to a lot of these sort of things.
Yeah.
Hitting the market. I like the button. I like having a firing button over the suction.
Yeah, I don't think I've found a sort of an auto fire thing that actually sort of works nicely. I don't think.
So some of them you have to suck too hard. Some of them are a little bit of a hair trigger, and then some of them like tail off. Like as you sort of relax on your vape, it sort of cuts off because you're not giving it enough beans.
Exactly.
I don't think pressing a button is so hard, is it? But so then.
Cool. So to let people know, I've actually done 2 videos over the last 7 days, which is nice. I did one before as well last week, I think. I can't remember what that was, but today we went up with the Nada. I did a live review on the Nada RDA, not another dripping atomizer. Took way longer than I wanted it to do. That took nearly an hour with that live review, but I think I was pretty damn thorough on that one. So that covers a whole bunch of stuff. And prior to that was the intake, which was the Mike Vapes RDA, no RTA even. And even as this is an interesting one because have you done your review on this one yet?
Yeah.
You weren't a fan of this, were you?
No, I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it how I wanted it. Have you've done your review? Yeah, you have.
Yes, yeah, I've
And
done the review.
you and Mark liked it, and yeah, I could see why people liked it, but I just could not get it in my zone. You know, I couldn't get it. I know you hate the term dialed in. I just couldn't get it dialed into exactly how it was. Sort of airy, slightly too airy for the wattage I was going at it. Wicking wasn't as big an issue as maybe I made out, but it just feels like over 50 watts on a single coil tank. I don't know. I just couldn't get it quite right.
Yeah.
But you guys really liked it.
I loved it. I think for the way I vape, and I don't really do tanks very often because they annoy me, but for the way I vape, this is absolutely perfect. I've got this sexy little drip tip, and I suppose I better mention him. It is the Mr. David Mottram from Pilgrim Vapes managed to organise this one for me. It's a stabilised wood drip tip going on there. How sexy is that?
That's lovely. That.
That's good, doesn't it? And I really should remember who made it. Oh, I'll try and come back to the people that made it. But the ice cream man.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes, can't remember his name on Instagram, but he does some really nice stabilized drip tips. So I'll try and remember that one. But yes, I thought it was really great for the way I like to vape. I just dialed it in.
Got you on it now.
It got dialed in first time and no problems with wicking. And then every build, I think I had one build in it where I got a dry hit just because I just crammed far too much cotton in there. But otherwise, I thought flavor and vapor and airflow and everything was absolutely perfect for me.
Got an interesting comment on the video today. Actually, it said they found they struggled in the same way I had, but ultimately found success by having the coil the exact width of the air intake, because it's quite a wide air intake on the inside for the airiness of the tank.
Yeah,
and they said once they got that coil exactly bang on that air intake width, they found that's where all the flavor came from.
Yeah,
and there was no sort of air going straight up without any contact of the coil. Yeah. And maybe that gave that nicer level of restriction as well.
Absolutely.
So that's not a bad shout.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I tried about 4 builds. You know, I got wicking wasn't a super issue at the wattage that I wanted to hit it with at that airflow, but no, I just couldn't quite get the flavor.
Yeah.
I've personally. I know that it's totally all the rage now to do these cloudy single coil tanks, but personally, if you're going over 50 watts, I think that's what dual coil's for. Dual coil tank, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think people still get too hung up on the actual wattage rather than just adjusting to taste.
Yeah. I think so. I genuinely think that dual coil is perfect for over that though, for a bit of power, a bit of heat. And yeah, it can't match the dual coil tanks that I've got. It can't match the Engine 2 on flavor for me. The Manta dual coil, the Bravo. For me, I'm just getting better flavor out of those. But they are dual coil, so I don't know.
Fair enough. And if we all like the same thing, the world would be a dull old place. So, you know, I think.
Yeah, I can totally see it's not a bad tank at all. But my only point in mind was I just haven't been able to get it how I like it.
Yeah. Excellent. Right. So before we get into talking about the Warrior, and I also want to talk about the Creed tank as well, because it confuses me greatly. And also I'll have a little chat about what I've been vaping on and testing and what have you as well recently. But there's just kind of 2 news items just to talk about. One, and I'm not going to go in depth too hard on either of these, but one is that I saw an article on Planet of the Vapes today that was shared on their Facebook group. If you go to planetofthevapes.co.uk, is it? Then I'm sure the article will be there. Apparently, there's been a study in Belgium that's showing that higher power vaping or hotter vaping isn't causing any issues at all. And it's actually kind of when it comes to, I think there was a constriction of arteries or something along those lines. And then that's a kind of a byproduct, a short-term byproduct from using nicotine rather than having the heat. And so this Belgian people, what are people from Belgium called?
Belgian.
Belgian people were saying, I was thinking Belgish. No, that's not right. The Belgians was,
where's Flemish?
I have no, Finland, isn't it?
I don't know.
See that we should.
They'll know in chat. They'll know in chat. You've got a smart crowd.
But yeah, that's a really interesting article. I just scanned over it just before getting into this tonight. So go ahead and have a look at that, because as we know, power comes from knowledge, and if we learn more about stuff, whilst it may not sort of directly kind of make any difference to your life right at this moment in time, what it does mean is if you know more, then when people challenge you and say, oh, if you go over 20 watts you'll die, then you can go, haha, actually I can know, and come back with some pretty good information, which is, you know, knowledge is power. So please go and check that one out on Planet of the Vapes. Now then, another thing, Vaporround. Now, we both know the Vaporround guys from Expo last year, and thanks very much again for my wonderful award, Vaporround people. But it snuck in a little bit on the thumbnail for this video tonight.
Oh, yeah, that picture. That's where that picture was from.
But the reason I wanted to talk about those guys is just because they actually have a YouTube channel as well. I don't know if many people are aware of that, where they do sort of reviews on products from now and then and all that sort of good stuff. Now, I was having a chat with Ned from Vaporround today, and their channel got suspended. YouTube didn't give them any warnings. It did nothing, but like we've seen on a few vape channels, and you know, channels outside of vaping as well, but like we've seen recently, just out of nowhere, gone, just not having it. And it was a result of, after doing the Chroma RDA review, it got shut down for violence. Just, I mean, it's obviously there is no violence involved. There's nothing dodgy going on in the slightest, but they're struggling, like a lot of smaller YouTubers, with finding the right course of action to go back and appear what's going on. So I gave them a couple of names of people to go and see, but it's just YouTube at the moment is going potty. The algorithm is just closing things down. Allegedly, when some of these channels will go into a to try and get it turned around again, and it gets sort of revised, if you like. I don't believe that they're actually having real people. I think they say real people are looking at it, but I can't believe that that's actually the case when you can have sort of an inoffensive review of a product and then get shut down for a reasoning like that. So yeah, if you do watch the vape, or were watching the Vaporround YouTube channel and found out that it's not there, that's the reason why. They are trying to get it back, but it's not there for the moment. So full support goes out to those guys for that one. Have you got any thoughts on this YouTube stuff at the minute?
I agree. It's really random. I wonder if, I don't know, maybe one person's flagged it, you know, as not liking it, or just maliciously reported it in some way. I don't know what triggers the first instance, you know. Yeah. I get it it happened with the Juul, and there was a raft of reviews that got flagged or striked for having the Juul in it, and that was believed to be an attack by one of these advocacy groups or whatever. Yeah. And so, you know, en masse they flagged the thing, so YouTube went, oh, we better react to that automatically, and they did. But something as you know, bizarre as just a random RDA review, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what could cause it. I don't know, unless a handful of people just reported it to see what happened. I don't know. It's really bizarre. I can't see what would be in the traditional algorithm to stop it, unless there's a certain word. I don't know. There's talk of, because the YouTube now automatically interprets every word you say on every video. That's how they create those automatic subtitles that appear up, and they can get it wrong, obviously. Yeah. And apparently, when you very first upload a video, the first 3% are actually them taking the audio file and translating it. So I don't know. Maybe a certain word was used a lot in that, and that flagged it. I don't know. So apparently, you know, certain keywords are scanned and monitored. I don't know. It's very bizarre. And like you say, really, really hard for a creator to get through to the right person to get help. you know.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm not sure at what level a creator suddenly gets kind of, I mean, I've had a lot of discussions with YouTube because I've had a couple of challenges that I've been able to forward up the chain to the people that normally only kind of 100,000 plus channels get access to. But the idea of actual support when you've got a YouTube channel under that 100K mark is a pig and nightmare. So just be careful and enunciate, people. Speak as clearly as you can.
Yeah, they should release that. They should release that technology so people could create their own subtitles.
You can.
So you
put your own subs in.
Yeah, but if you use the YouTube one, you'd then be able to correct the words that are wrong.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then you upload your own subtitles based on theirs corrected.
Yes, that is a very good idea. You see, that's why you're a clever chap. You see.
Yeah, but I don't think they never. Google very rarely release like an API or, you know, a separate executable thing. So
yeah,
I doubt it.
Gotcha. Right, so let's move on to a little bit more vaping gear.
Have you done the creed? Are we done with the creed?
No, we've not quite got there yet.
All right, cool.
I'm just going to say about a couple of things, and then the warrior will take us into things that have come in this week. Just to let you know, I decided I was going to stick the Hadley on the Basium again recently. This has been a kind of an easy little all-day vape, and I think that looks sexy. It just gives me a little bit of a
that was great.
The undercarriage, that one. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that one. I have been testing the crap out of the drop solo. Like I said earlier on, the drop solo and the drop dead. I've probably put more coils through these and the Reverie than I have through anything, I think, probably recently, just because I've been trying to get under the skin of them. I've been trying to understand a little bit more about what's going on with these RDAs, because I'm not entirely sure, but I do get confused. The Reverie, because I generally don't like single coils. So I've been doing a whole mess of stuff with this, with dual coils, with single coils, different types of wire, and a whole bunch of things, looking for the real kind of USPs in relation to why you'd have single as a vertical as opposed to having a horizontal coil. The drop dead we talked about earlier on, and trying to figure out about how the airflow works on that one, and the drop solo, because I've been trying to figure out the best way of getting the best flavor out of this one, and I've got my thoughts on this. You've had this solo, haven't you?
I don't have a solo, no. I've had a good look at the deck and things, though. It's quite spacious, isn't it, for a single coil?
It is quite spacious. And I mean, I think it's a nice looking RDA. It performs pretty well. But I think one of the tricks that they really missed out, what Brian really missed out on this one, was it would have been fantastic if you could close down one of the airflow things completely. So you would have had just the airflow going in from one side.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, when I've been rocking the death traps, although very different types of RDAs, I tended to use one side airflow more than having sort of both front and back open. And I think if that would have been the case, I think that would have pushed the flavor on this a little bit stronger than it is at the moment. Because it is, I mean, for those of you that are unaware, let's pop the I mean, I'm sure most people know, but I mean, that's your if I tip it over too much, that's going to just piss juice everywhere. But it's a fair sized deck to have your airflow in, and at the moment you have airflow coming in from both sides. And I think if you could have had just the airflow came from that side, I think that would have been really, really, really good.
I suppose the flip side to that is you can get a beefy coil in there, you can get a lot of cotton in there, and really up the wattage on it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the posts in the way on the back airflow, so that's going to restrict how much air can get sort of in that general direction anyway, which is a bit of a thing. But solo is great for a build vertical. Okay, that's interesting. I think the only thing I've not tried in there is a vertical coil, just because
Yeah.
Vertical coils for me are great if you're mouth to lung in, or if you are having a gentlemanly vape. But if you're going to go past sort of 40, 50, 60 watts and have a big old Clapton in there or something else, I just don't think verticals can keep up the same way that horizontals can.
I mean, there are certain exceptions, like the Cleto, with its vertical coil. It's almost like a car atomizer.
Yeah.
The coil goes right up, cotton all around it, and at that wattage, that creates a very nice effect. But no, I really like horizontal coils.
Yeah.
Even as much as, if you remember the iSub range from Imac, I think the best iSub was actually the very first one.
Yeah,
It was like 30 watts, little horizontal coil, and the flavor was fantastic. Vertical ones are really tricky. I mean, on an RDA as well. I mean, what do you do with the cotton at the top? Do you just have a little bed at the top? Oh.
And I think that kind of lends itself, a vertical coil in that instinct lends itself better to dripping than it does squonking. Because when you squonk with a vertical, you've got that juice has got to work its way all the way up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're dripping with it, you can drip on the top of your splayed out coil, cotton, and then it will kind of, gravity will help take it down into that cotton a little bit quicker. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's an interesting shout. Clouds for Life says dual verticals in the Solo. That's an option, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've put dual verticals in the Reverie, and to be honest with you, I didn't get a great deal extra from it. And the airflow is much closer in with the way the Reverie is designed. And I've put dual Claptons as well as round wire builds in the Reverie, and it hasn't really sort of suddenly boosted flavor to a crazy level or anything along those lines. And once again, it's once your juice goes in there, and especially if you're squonking, now you've got twice as much juice. It's got to go vertically because you've got those two coils, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a trick. I've never found a vertical coil RDA that I love. Never.
Yeah. One of the things that I will say, I know it was mentioned in chat there, is this is the Epsilon Silk. Have you got one of these?
No.
Okay. This is from someone, Joytech. This is from Joytech, and it's what do you think of that then? What's your first impressions of that puppy?
But they're on a bit of a style mission, Joytech, at the moment. I like the boards. Joytech made one. They made a mod. Oh, I must have it here. Yeah, they made a mod about, must be 11, 12 months ago now. And they made this. And this was the Primo, the Evic Primo.
Yes.
And it had leather sides. And I just think this is classy. I think it's exactly what I picture a dual regulated mod to look like.
Yeah.
And I just think it looks so classy. And ever since this mod, ever since me going on in the video about how classy it looked, they've just gone off on a completely different path now. And that one looks, I mean, it looks comfy.
The weird thing is this stuff is all kind of like a hard rubber situation going on. And then you can kind of see that this was thought out. You just want this to come off because you think this is a battery.
Yeah,
which is just super annoying because it's got an internal battery in this one. But this front section to me just looks like an afterthought.
What's the screen look like when it's on?
Nothing special.
Nothing special, because they've done some lovely screens as well. I don't know. That's not. Yeah, it's a funny one.
Weird thing.
If it was ridiculously comfy in the hand, I might let it off.
I mean, it's kind of comfortable, but the annoying thing that I found with this one is where you've got this bit on the top here, because this is kind of raised, if you like, with the bit of rubbery stuff. You want to fire it there all the time. All the time you want to fire it there, but the button is sort of underneath it, so you have to kind of fire it with the joint of your thumb, you know. The one thing about this one though, it's obscenely light, like ridiculously crazy light, stupid light. Which is a bit of a strange one. So yeah, I don't know if this is going to get a review because I just got sent it to see what I thought of it. But yeah, it's a strange bastard, but it's certainly one of those Marmite you either like it or you hate it kind of jobbies, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then that brings us on to, oh no, here we go. This is something else. A few people have asked me a few times about this one. And I've shown it. And once again, I was sent this not for a review, but just to find out what I thought of it. Have you had one of these?
Yes, I have.
What's your thoughts on this? Have you reviewed it yet?
Yeah, I have. It's there's some bits I really like about it and some bits I don't. I think over time the bottle door is going to be an issue. Yeah, it's hanging by a thread really all the time. It hasn't been an issue yet, so preempting that, and then loads of little things like you've still got the beauty ring on,
Yes.
On yours, the knurling's like the opposite of the cap, and it does my head in, so I had to take it off.
Do you know what? I've not noticed that, and now it's really winding me up. Oh, yeah, twat.
So that beauty ring came straight off. I don't mind. It's the thing is, and I said when I did the Basium, it's surprisingly big. Don't you think?
Yes.
I mean, yours is 2 batteries in a bottle, and this is 1 battery in a bottle, and it's big. It's the same size. It's it's wider.
Yeah. I mean, it is a 21700 to be fair.
Yeah, but
it is a fair lump.
Yes, it's
weighty as well, isn't it?
Surprisingly big, surprisingly heavy, but functionality wise, it does exactly what it's supposed to.
Yes. Yeah. I've not tried out the temp control. Has it got temp control? I've not even looked at it. I've just been vaping it with different coils in the atomizer that comes with it to see how it feels. And because it's so thin, I mean, when I use a Basium, I kind of the reason I designed it square is because you can finger fire it, thumb fire. I tend to hold things with my kind of like that, so it's almost in my fingers rather than anything else. So it's comfy for me, however I hold it. With this, it just feels a bit weird trying to get to that fire button.
It needs to be there.
Yes, yes, it does. You're absolutely flipping.
When they're this shape, you want the fire on the side.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no super comfy way of firing this.
No, I mean, the Luna was a side firer, and I enjoyed that, but I think that's probably because it had a little bit more length to it, maybe because it was a bit of a lighter mod. I don't really know, but yeah, I'm not super convinced of this. And this finish, this gloss plastic finish, I think is horrid. You get the slightest amount of sweat or juice or whatever on your hands, and it just feels nasty.
Yeah, the second you get one drip down, you can rub that one drip of juice around the whole mod.
No,
it just slides around. It just yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I like the feeding tube.
yeah. It's but once it just makes me think of like a really old-fashioned mod. I talked before about it, reminded me of an old mod that I used to have back in the day, and it just, I mean, these buttons I think are cheap and nasty. The fire button I don't think feels too clever. I mean, it's clicky, I'll give it that, but you know, I think the finish could have been much nicer.
The overwhelming comment on my review was that they wished that they'd done a Squeeze 2 that was still a mech.
Yeah,
so still nice and small, but with a brand new bottle and an up-to-date 510 feeding tube, all that good stuff, but still a mech, still tiny, and that had been released as something else.
Yeah.
Because the Squeeze one was so popular.
Absolutely.
I think people just wanted an updated one of them, really. But
yeah. Right, so we've got a couple of new things for people now to talk about. Now, we'll talk about the tank first. You haven't built yours yet, have you? No, you haven't.
No, it's right here in bits.
So what I got, or what I've unboxed already, is this bad boy. Now, this is the Creed tank from Geek Vape, and it's a big bastard. Obviously, that's, I don't know what the capacity is, but that's not TPD friendly, so you unlikely to see that in the UK. But no, it does come with a straight glass as well. I don't know if that means it's a 2mm or not, but
the straight glass is a 2mm. Yeah.
Ah, splendid. There you go. Now then, the strange thing about this, we've got 3 air holes going around the bottom there. I mean, I think it's a pretty uggo tank, but we've got 3 air holes going down the bottom there. And what we've got going on here, which is kind of a little bit interesting, you'll see that I've got this top cap on here without any holes. The packaging actually gives you 2 other ones of these. One of them has a sort of diffused kind of cheese grater airflow, and the other one has vertical holes in it. And the idea being that this sits outside of what goes on in here. Now you can see that you've got 2 air holes coming out of the side of the deck there. So any extra air that doesn't come through these airflow ports at the top, I think in theory is supposed to come out here and then travel up the sort of the side of what's going on and go into the bloody coils. I don't get it. I don't get how it works, and I don't get why it works this way. And because the thing for me is these airflow holes on the top there. Hang on, let me just measure these. I think I did measure them before. Each hole is just about, well, yeah, about 3mm, 3 mil on each hole. So you've got 3, 6, 12 mil of air going underneath your coils there. So for any other air to come up or somehow kind of get into the side of the into the side of the tank, I can't wrap my head around it. I mean, this is obviously going to sit inside the very large outer barrel there, and I can't wrap my head. I can't wrap my head around it. I don't know whether that's supposed to be the air in or the air out or whatever, but I tried it. It's flipping loud, flipping loud. And with I tried three different these three different jobbies, this one as well as the other two with the holes, when I did the unboxing for the patrons, and I could not tell any benefit at all from having the other jobbies in there in the slightest. Just I don't get it. I don't understand the concept, and I think it's flipping horrible. So I'll look forward to your thoughts on that one. Are you building it right now?
No, I'm just looking at it. I'm just trying to work out how it doesn't flood. But that chamber, so it locks in, so that chamber's like an inner chamber.
Yes.
Right. So what are the holes? So you got your wick in. Okay. For the first thing I thought when I saw it, it's just this plenty of air underneath anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Plenty.
Exactly. So I did wonder if those extra things were somehow for the air to come out of the side. So that wouldn't make any sense. So it must be the air comes out from the side underneath the deck there, in between those two barrels, and then go in either the diffused one or the vertical hold in a barrel.
Yeah, it's going in. It's going in there. So it's removing all restriction.
Yes, and what it means is that you have to suck with such velocity that you can have basically 12 mil of open airflow, which is pretty damn open. But it has to come out with a harder level of velocity to actually sort of come out of the sides as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think they're expecting the air to choke at those 3 mil air holes.
Yeah,
and for the extra air to come out and then into the sides. But for that, to me, I can't see how that could possibly work. I don't understand it. I don't understand if I've been thinking about it.
So you had a go and you couldn't really tell the difference.
I did not like it one bit.
I guess, yeah, I can't see the science in that. But I guess, I mean, it's going to be cloudy.
Well, yeah, and
cloudy tank.
I gave one when I actually did the unboxing. I gave one to one of my patrons who's more of a tank guy, just to find out what his thoughts on it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he thinks of it. But for me, I just don't understand it. I think it's excessive and unnecessary.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the sort of wattage they wanted to use with this straight class is not going to be 2 mil capacity at that kind of wattage is
exactly. And someone's asking about flavor in there. I thought the flavor was pretty damn poor on it, to be honest, and that's predominantly because just the sheer amount of airflow. And if you close that airflow down on the bottom on the AFC, it doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, I agree. And the chamber, even with the chamber inside the chamber, it's still huge. I mean, this is a massive tank. And it's 2 mil capacity, which tells you how big that chamber is in there.
Exactly.
And so you're going to need plenty of power to fill up that chamber to get some flavor.
Definitely. So not super stoked with that one. Now the other thing, which is causing quite the stir on Instagram, the builders are going bonkers. They're all losing their minds about it, which is fabulous. And this is I'm going to preface this with this is still pretty new, so I've not tested the bejesus out of it yet. I've not put a whole mess of different coils in it yet. But the Warrior RDA. Yeah. Now you got these as well, Mr. Richard.
Yes, I've got the gold one.
Yeah,
gold one here with a really nice drip tip.
That is a really nice gold flake. It looks like a DHD tip.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Very nice.
Yeah. Now then, I'm just going to throw myself in the ring on this one, and then you can let me know what your thoughts are after.
Okay.
So, first off, I think it looks great. It's 20. Is it 25, 26?
25.
25. I think it looks great. It looks very, very cool. The branding, I mean, it is pretty in your face, but it is only on one side. So that's that. Now, there is something to tell you about, as Richard mentioned earlier on, which I'll talk about when we finish talking about this section of it, when it comes to the black, I think, colors, but we'll look at those in a minute. But no, when it comes to this, and let me pull in the focus on this one, because you've got your airflow holes down there. So they're at the sort of lower end of the jobby. Now, your airflow control is at the top here, which is sort of super smooth and hard to get hold of, but it's at the top there. Now, the problem with this is that, hang on, see if I can get, I've got covered in juice. And I'm horribly out of focus, but covered in juice. The problem that I can't, there we go. We're done. The problem that I have with this is the fact that this little barrel situation here, you can see that we've got a couple of little jobbies on the inside there, either side of my snout. And what they do is they lock the barrel in place, which is good. However, with this amount of airflow, that's a huge amount of airflow. And so you close it down with your AFC by twisting that. But the problem is then, because it's got so much airflow, it kind of then forces the air to come out. I mean, I've been rocking this with like sort of 6 or 9 holes going, and 9 holes is more than enough for how I vape most of the time. And it's obviously it's putting the air into the coil really off on one side. So if you centralize your coils, it means that the air is going towards the side of it. Now, there's a lot of people that are going to say, oh, well, it's made from massive, great big bastard coils and all this sort of, stuff, and crack on, fill your boobs. However, the second problem that I've got with this one, or had with this so far, and like I said, it does need more testing, but the second challenge that I've found is when you do put large coils in here. I mean, these aren't particularly large. These need changing out, but these aren't large coils, not by any stretch of the imagination. But even with these puppies in, I'm finding that the top cap gets super fucking hot. Super hot. And the drip tips are all quite dinky. There's 2 different drip tips, and so your lips kind of touch a super hot drip tip top cap. So if you're a chain vapor, I find that it's challenging. Put it that way. What do you think about it?
Yeah, very similar. I would say on the gold one, the branding isn't as fierce because it's just engraved.
Yeah.
So that's quite a nice touch. I agree. The cap does get very, very hot. I mean, it is a builder's dream, an Instagram builder's dream. I'll say that.
Yes.
You can't. It's got these 2 big plates. It's got goon sort of style clamps, and you can get massive coils in there, 25 mil wide.
Yeah. Huge
coils in there. So it is going to be very showy for the builders, and it was designed by some builders, wasn't it?
Yes.
Shadow VT guys. So I totally get it from that point of view, but like you say, it does get very, very hot. And yeah, the amount of airflow is mad. I've closed it in half.
Yeah,
closed it in half, which is about reasonable. But like you say, it does push the airflow over to one side, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and that's kind of an unfortunate thing, because if you want to use this for a normal RDA, or like I don't know, 6-7 wraps of just a dual core fuse Clapton or something, then your coil is going to be in the middle of that airflow, unless you know already, and so you can smoosh it over a little bit, do you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I suppose if you build in knowing you're doing it halfway, I suppose you could build to the side. It's a very versatile deck in that respect. It's
just a little bit of a pig to get used to start with, I think.
And adjusting the airflow, like you say, really tricky.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it looks the business, but but now the email that I got today, I'm not entirely sure if I'm allowed to read this out or not, but let me just check on this.
I think it will be resolved for production, won't it?
Yeah. I mean, you can guarantee that we are going to be getting the sort of the samples, the pre-run, and all that sort of good stuff. But the conductivity of the black color and gunmetal color of the Warrior RDA build deck do not work perfectly, apparently. So we'll change the build deck of these 2 color in the bulk production products. So there we go. So if anyone is wondering and may not have had that email, if they've got one to review or something like that, then there is a little bit of a hoo-ha going on with the dark ones. But there we go. Not something that I've had that much of an issue with, because I've just been using the blue one so far. And even though I should be doing the black ones, I try and use all black RDAs for testing if I have them, because you get to test the paint. But I'm so bored of black RDAs because I'm blind and I can't see when I've got the airflow turned off.
Yeah, I don't like them on camera either. I usually give away the black ones.
Exactly. But no, so that's, I mean, I think it's an interesting, I think the flavor in it is actually pretty good. I kind of quite like the flavor, and I like the draw because you have those multiple diffused airflow holes going on. So it's a nice smooth draw, which is great. You do have to be a little bit careful for over squonking, but predominantly for over dripping, I think. But no, I mean, I think it's an interesting concept, but I've got a bunch more bills I've got to put in there before I can do anything. I agree with you though. For people that take photos of coils for Instagram, fucking right on. They're all over that.
Yeah, that extra space in there over something like a goon, which used to be the traditional Instagram deck, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that little bit of extra space in there. Yeah, it's gonna be great for that.
Absolutely. And I think the guys were on Vape Stew with Stan, Tenacious TX Vapes, on his channel recently. So that it's interesting. They had an interesting interaction with Rotofo, apparently. So that's always worth going and checking out, because there's a strange fucking story going on there that they are far more accommodating than I would have been. I know that. So go and check that one out on Tenacious TX Vapes' channel. Now, I think that has covered all of the stuff that I've had new in and bits and bobs. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we go to chat for questions?
No, I think we've covered it. Oh, have you got one of these? The PAL Mini?
No. Hang on, let me put the. It sounded like I was turning you off. Then no.
I thought you were going to try and get one of these.
No. I think I had one similar from those guys, and they got me and Tim's Vapes mixed up. Was it those guys that did that?
Oh right, yeah, okay.
I got his engraved one, and he got mine. I can't remember.
So yeah, so this is the PAL Mini. The PAL was quite popular actually. This is just a very shrunk down version of the exact same thing, really. It's got you sort of classic pull the whole thing out, like that, and your juice goes in there as well. The coil sits without any screws. It just drops out. So the two plates push together to make contact and lock it into place.
Oh, okay.
Micro USB, little window for your juice. I mean, it's very natty. Again, it vapes a lot. I haven't seen they're not like the new mesh coils or anything like that. So it vapes like a lot of these pocket mods. But I could see from a looks perspective that it's quite
certainly dinky, isn't it? Yeah. I know that Paul has mentioned in chat there wasn't the Pala BB clone. It wasn't a clone. Not at all. I think I reviewed that actually, and covered that in the review. But no, it wasn't a clone as far as I can remember, if I'm thinking of the right one.
No, it's a fairly closed system, whereas the BB is got a lot of different atomizer choices now, and has a big square tank of juice. It's not made from billet. No, I think that would be harsh.
Yeah. No, I agree. Right. So if you've got any questions, get them into either of us. You can start them with at Vaping Biker or at Vaping with V1CK. No, Vaping V1CK. And if you can put the questions in uppercase, in capital letters, that would be great. We won't take it offensively, like you're shouting at us. It just helps us see, because it's we're getting on a bit. How old are you, Richard?
33. That was a tough question to start with.
Yeah. I didn't realize you were that young. I think we might have to stop.
It's the grey hair.
I feel happy being friends with Mark because he's 60 now. It just makes me feel young.
Yeah, he's got jet black hair though.
No, I know. Well,
33 and I've got grey hair. It's not quite right.
I do hope if you do watch this or are watching this, Mr. Todd, I hope you're having a wonderful birthday and getting super.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Right, so let's have a little look here. Paul Paulson, regarding the drop solo, would you say the solo has more open airflow out of all the single coil 22mm RDAs? That's a good question. It does have a lot of airflow. It does, for sure. Is it the most? I don't know. I'll try and kind of bring that into some perspective when I do the review on it for you, but I can't answer that one up front.
It's kind of going to be the complete opposite of the D Pro, isn't it?
Yes.
One's going to be cloudy wattage, D Pro's sort of lower wattage, tasty little.
Exactly. I mean, the Reverie does have a. I still can't get over saying the Reverie. It makes me feel like I'm Jonathan Roscoe Weatherly, but there is quite a decent amount of airflow in that one. But I think the drop may have it, to be honest with you. Right, what have we got going on here? Artery only 1.2 mil tank, be filling it up every 5 minutes. Don't forget Dazzy vapes. You're not going to be, hardcore lung hitting it at 1,000 watts, so it will last longer than you would think. What else we got? I just got some great news. My Bar V3 that I waited 8 months to get finished just got shipped. I don't know what a Bar V3 is, Louis. Do you?
No.
No. Well, there you go. He's got one. Exciting. So well done him for that one.
The pre-order thing's hard. Waiting for the pre-orders is hard.
Yeah, you've done that once or twice, haven't you?
Yeah. What was the thing I waited months for? I
can't remember. That was the parallel box from Signature, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think it was the X. Was it the? Oh yes, that's right. That is what it was. Yeah, the parallel from Signature mods. Yeah, used to do everything in runs.
Yeah, and that's before they kind of got on top of their game, I think.
Yeah.
Right, what else we got going on here? Nutchunder, I'll stop bugging you about the Bonza tube, mate. Fantastic, because I ain't got a fucking clue. Want to go and bug Sam? He's your man. I think Sam had a quality thing that he wanted to keep on top of, and so didn't want to rush the release. I think I saw in his most recent blog. So go and check that one out. Levi Casti, why is vaping so cool? Because you don't die from smoking cigarettes. What else have we got? Vaping Vic, do you ever use your sound sponge to play chess?
No, it's good job. The pieces would just fall down because of gravity. I could get some Velcro pieces. It's not quite enough pieces, and they've gone a bit yellow, and I'm going to move them. I'm going to reshuffle. Even I'm sick of looking at them
now. Microfiber backdrops, tell you it's the future. Sound deadening does a marvelous job.
Yeah, I need to have a think. Yeah, because I want to do more live stuff, and I'm gonna have to sort the backdrop. The blue runs out really fast. If you go around here, so if we go around here, look, the blue runs out really quick. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sort that out. I'm gonna reshuffle.
Fantastic.
And yes, they're really uneven. It's not a camera trick. They just a mess.
I managed to re-stick up all my acoustic tires because they all fell down because the glue just melted. And I managed to re-stick those over the weekend, and that was a twat of a job. But it's 29.8 degrees in here now, so it turns out that the contact adhesive that I used not good once you get to 30 degrees. Who knew? What else? Can you tell me about the Bastion in Poland? Best thing to do, Devgron, is to contact your local vape vendor that you buy stuff from and say you want them to get it in, my friend. I don't know anyone locally who's got that, but you could give Evolution a go because they might ship to Poland. Do you have a loose separated top cap of the Reverie after juice gets in? Too easy to turn. Have you had the Reverie?
No.
Right.
Who makes it? Vandy Vape?
No, this is Times Vape. This one's from Stan, who does the Dreamer. So this is obviously, I've got the black one going on here. Now, one of the challenges that isn't just kind of restricted to sort of affordable mods, but I've seen on another mod recently as well, more expensive one, is this situation. Now, because you've got the top cap, it kind of goes over that kind of bottom cap, if you like, and I think that's what the chap's speaking about. We get a really thin little O-ring on the top here, thin little O-ring, and you get a huge amount of condensation buildup in between those two caps. So when you do put your that back on again, it blurts out a little bit of juice all around the outside, just like it's done just there, which isn't great. So that does get, it's not remotely kind of tight, if you like. There is some kind of resistance when you're trying to turn it, but it's not tight, not by any stretch of the imagination. So hopefully that answers that question. Can you get Richard on the show as well as Mark, rather than as his birthday stand-in? Surely makes sense to have the world's three finest vape reviewers on the same show on the regular. Well,
we tried that once, didn't we? It was carnage.
We'll have to make sure we get you on more often. That's for sure. Have you tried the solo with the other cap? Yes, did he right? Of course, absolutely have. Apparently you're growing old gracefully, says Dave Vape. No.
Oh.
No. Right, let me just get rid of...
That definitely means Mark's growing old disgracefully then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Boof. That's got rid of that person for being a knobhead. Right, good. Right, what else have we got going on in here? The wrenches in twat alert. Hopefully, I've just got rid of the twat, so job's good. So, I keep forgetting that Mark normally does my wrenching, so I forget.
Oh yeah.
You're much better looking than Mr. Todd, apparently, to Trevor.
Nonsense.
The Basium rocks with a Haku Vena top mod. Good job, mate. Thank you very much. It's a bit posh, isn't it? Rocking the
Haku Vena. Well, it does look, because it's way shorter than people realize. I think it does look good with the 22s on. I've just done this. I've done this. The Theseus RDA. It's quite an interesting little 22 mil, but I think the 22 mils look quite nice on it.
Yeah,
just the littler ones. This is quite tall actually, but yeah. Have you seen this? Did you see this one? This little.
I haven't.
Y deck.
Oh.
Yeah. So the coil's really high up, and then there's air feeding tubes like that, and they go in. It actually vapes quite a lot like the Recurve.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's got an interesting one. That's Hugs Vape.
Hugs Vape. Interesting stuff. Righty ho. Good stuff. Now, Mr. Addy Tooney's in the chat. Hello, Addy. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Will you make a Basium as dual 2700? Probably not, Howard. What else have we got here? But you never know. You never know. But it's unlikely at the moment, because if I did another one with bigger batteries, then people would say, oh, well, it's got to have a centered 510, and then it would be about 19 times taller than the Lost Vape drone that everybody hated. So, you know, it's a world, isn't it?
The one reason to do that would be battery life, and actually the Basium's so efficient. It's such an efficient mod. The battery life's great anyway. So
exactly. So, but thank you very much indeed. What else have we got? What? Right, Ingvar, you might be able to help me out here. Watch your video on building. Loved it, I think that says. Could you say a few words about what is best for 0.4, 0.3, 0.12? How do we know what to aim for? New builder. First thing you need to do, Ingvar, is start low, put your coil in, make sure it's all safe and fine and dandy, get it all sorted the way you want it to do, and then start low and just take the power up until that's hitting where you want it to hit. That's it. There is no, because you can't say a 0.3 a certain power would work, because it will depend on what type of coil it is, how much wire is in there, what material the wire is, and all that sort of good stuff. So it's all relevant. It's all kind of winding round. So best thing is start low and just work your way up and see how you get on.
Yeah, find a really simple ATI, put it on a variable wattage device, and just build up.
Absolutely. Dominic, Vape and Biker, what is your one guilty pleasure?
Glee, innit?
The wife has been watching a recent series of Catfish, and it stuns me how stupid people are. But that's kind of a guilty pleasure, I think.
Yeah.
As well as looking at Trump tweets, that's kind of a guilty pleasure as well.
Yeah. That's the whole world's guilty pleasure right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. What else have we got going on here? Have you seen any other questions?
Oh, yeah. There's one aimed at me from Guy Brush. And he says, any extras planned for the RTA? and I'll be making an official statement on that next week. But essentially, it's not looking likely now. 3C Vape have got a lot of other irons in the fire. The maths don't really stack up. You know, if you think that if I release an extra set, maybe only 10 to 20% of people that have that would be interested in the extras for that. So the numbers just start getting so low, you can't make enough of them to justify it. So it's mathematically not looking like there will be a set of extras for the Saver RTA. But having said that, I'm also in talks with another chap who has done several high-end extras, and maybe doing a bubble tank with him. So maybe an option for extra capacity through an aftermarket product, a licensed aftermarket product. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'll be able to announce something more official next week.
Splendid. Nice work. Good stuff. Aaron Arthur, thank you very much indeed. I hope you enjoyed them both. With new regulations in the UK, asks Paul, you will see a rise in silicon soy bottle shops.
Yeah,
absolutely. And by the way, people keep asking about top caps for the juice bowls. I got some prototypes for a recent design that we kind of worked through, and more information will be coming from that one very, very soon. Right, what else? Oh, my messages appearing in chats. My questions are just skipping. Yes, Jimmy, I've just seen that one.
Oh, is it Jimmy?
Hi, Mr. Parker of the Vaguely Vaping related podcast. So go and check that out.
Yeah, who Mark was on last week.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Available in all your good podcast stores. That is Vaguely Vaping related podcast. So there we go. Go and check that out. I'm really into podcasts at the minute. I've started listening to Mark Maron's WTF podcast. Have you heard? Do you know who that is?
Yeah. I'm not a regular listener, but I have heard it.
He's bloody marvelous. I really enjoy when I'm not listening to the Vaguely Vaping related podcast, obviously, but you know, I love it. I'm really into that at the moment. Right, Dino. I think well, any other colours, Richard, for the Saver?
The plan was to do a brushed stainless steel version as a third one, and again, it's not looking super likely now, to be honest. That is not a definite no with that, but we wanted to do the extras, then maybe 2 more colors, but I'm not sure now. It's certainly not imminent if it is going to happen.
Gotcha. Just over squonked in the Hadley.
I found Jimmy's question.
What was that?
With everything going on in the pod world, Blue and Dual, which pen style pod system do you think is top of the class at the moment, refillable or closed?
My favorite pen style is taking it possibly a little bit too literally, but from just a pen type of kind of ego-ish kind of vape is the U pen. I know it got a lot of stink because it looked like a pen, but I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, what a lot of these all-in-one systems or pod systems do is they have an old-fashioned coil in there, and I think that's such a mistake. I really like what Anakin have just done with this. It has a 2018 coil in it, which are at least giving it a chance to be an up-to-date vape. You know, there's just because a smoker isn't a hobbyist vapor, there's no reason that they shouldn't enjoy the innovation that we've all been enjoying.
Absolutely.
In the last 12 months, you know. So I obviously only just fired this up today, but if it's got a really nice mesh coil in it, that will be that'll be nice to see, you know, because so many of them are just a fiddly little bit of canthal and a little bit of silica, or I mean, like the Dual is still silica, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you know, really, that's a 7-year-old way of vaping now in a way. So yeah, so I'm quite like these two. These two are probably the two standouts for me right now. This is the Wismec Motif 2, which are very, very nice looking, and that's a suctiony one. It's quite nice. It's very loose, though. They all seem to be very loose, these things.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I like about the U pen, because it is tight.
Yes, yeah, proper. That's a proper at first vape, isn't it? That U pen, and then yeah, this one's quite loose as well. Oh, I need to turn it on first.
No.
Okay, so that's a bit tighter actually. That's the EQ is a bit tighter than the
I think
motive.
someone mentioned earlier on in chat that when you take the pod out, you might be able to alter the airflow.
Ooh. Not seeing it. Oh, unless you can spin it, 'cause it's got a oh, let's have a go at this.
Every day's a learning day.
I know. Here's a tip for you when you do unbox it. The cap, it has a lid like this, and if you try and take the lid off, the whole thing comes off. I don't know if this is a child safety thing, but to get the lid off, you squeeze it.
Holy crap!
Squeeze the lid. I don't know if that's for to stop the kids. I don't know. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you spin it to fill it. You spinning it opens up the holes to fill it, but also I think it all seems to affect the vape as well, spinning it all the way around to the other way around. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, there we go. You see, I have the best people in my chat. They know what's up.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
I've seen a couple of people ask if you're going to do a mod.
Nope.
Fair enough.
No, definitely not. The original plan with the saver was to do where have I put my saver? Yeah, so one of the slight negatives that people raised in their reviews was that it said saver mouth to lung RTA on top, and that was actually because we planned to do more versions. So we were going to do a mouth to lung RDTA because there aren't many of those, and we were going to do a genuine DTL version as well. So an actual like sort of a cloudy version of the saver using the same basic principle of the deck, but opening it way up. Yeah. But again, I'm not sure if those are going to happen now either. We even got as far as a prototype saver RDA, mouth to lung RDA, but I don't know if that's going to happen now either. So we're going to do a whole set of savory things, yeah. But I don't know to be honest. But definitely no mod.
Fair enough. Raj is asking when's a special edition Basium coming out. We've only just released the normal one. Can't do a special edition quite yet. Calm yourself down, man.
There's always the Zap Wraps though. If he's dying to customize.
Good point. Go to zapwraps.co.uk. You can go and get your own custom wrap for your Basium, or protect your paintwork, or do whatever you like with it. What else we got here? Dean, I want to etch or engrave a green Basium for you, mate. Can the finish handle it, as it can get quite warm? I wouldn't know. in my background video, I showed you the testing that they do, where they have this kind of like multi kind of spiky thinged thing that they pull across it, and then they go the other way to like a checkerboard kind of affair, and then they put tape on it to see if that's going to kind of pull off the bits of paint, so to make sure it's all adhered properly, and that happens. But I don't know. No idea. Never tried engraving one.
I don't know. Has there been any peeling? Has there been any scratching, peeling reports?
Not that I'm aware of as yet. Like I say, I mean, I showed you in the background video the testing that they're doing on it, but I've not damaged any. I did put a chink in the paintwork for one of the early ones that I actually took to Expo, and that's after that we then doubled up on the paint to make sure that it was kind of thick as a thick thing. Have I trimmed my beard? I trimmed it last week, but it's shorter this side than it is this side tonight. How come we haven't seen a VVRP mod on a reviewer channel? Oh, he's asking Jimmy. Fair enough.
That is a question for Jimmy.
Mark Stave, bubble glass for the saver. Richard mentioned that a little while ago.
Yes, hoping to be able to say something next week.
Absolutely. What's your favorite RDA to use on the Basium? Asks DB Squonks. I know you've asked that a couple of times. I haven't really got a favorite RDA at the moment. I'm really enjoying putting the Hadley on top of it. I'm thinking that's a sexy looking little thing, and I enjoy the Hadley. So I'm having a good time with that. But all of the RDAs that I'm reviewing tend to go on top of it. So You know, there's a load of really good RDAs now that I don't think there's much that separates RDAs these days. I mean, a lot of them do really good flavor. So it's just all about personal preference in a lot of cases, I think.
I think that's why we have just seen a run of RDAs which aren't mind-blowingly innovative. You've got the Vault from Osmodus and Vape Porn, which again is a goon style deck, really. 24 wide, you know, straight up and down. And then you've got your Warrior, which again is not super innovative. Drop Dead, you know, is just a version of the Dead Rabbit and the Drop. So you've got all a set of RDAs now, and I guess they're all really good. They're all really good. They're all of a certain level, but you're not seeing the next sort of push on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Something I covered today, actually, you mentioned just what you mentioned there sort of struck up something. The Nada, when Mr. Vaping Fagan did this one, he says quite honestly that he kind of used the design for the drop for the posts because they're so easy to use. I think we're going to see more of those style of posts like we've seen with the Velocity. I don't know if it's going to be as popular as the Velocity. What's your take on that one?
Yeah, I agree. I think particularly the Dead Rabbit, I can see a lot of companies taking that deck style, taking that on, because it's kind of foolproof. You can put the coil as high or as low as you want. You don't even have to be precise with your leads.
Exactly.
And I think the one key with the Dead Rabbit and the Drop Dead now is the coil position in the RDA. They're so high up. They're so high up, so they're so close. The flavor is just, you know, it's a big RDA, but it works like a low profile. Distance between coil and drip tip, and I think that is key.
Absolutely, absolutely. Was it testing the D Pro that made you put the Hadley on the Basium? Kind of. No, I just really like the Hadley, and I haven't used it for a while. So bang, boof, there it went.
If you've got one like me, if you've got a coloured one with a black top, get a black goon. Get a black goon, and you're laughing. I'm getting a black goon.
Guybrush is asking if I'll be checking out the USV Mac ON3 with the new bottle system. I have talked to them. I think I've actually got an email that I should have replied to about a week ago from those guys, but I'd certainly be up for it. Absolutely. It just came in the middle of all of the stress and worry about the Basium release, so I think I possibly forgot to reply to them. The bottle system seems interesting because I'm hearing a few people are getting cracked bottle issues because it's not a round one. It's like a square one or something. So that seems like an interesting thing for sure. But I'd like to have a go on one, see what they're all about. Absolutely. What else have we got going on here? Has someone tried the Monarchy RDA? Have you tried a Monarchy RDA?
No, I've not heard of it.
Same. Not a bloody clue there. Right. What else we got? Is there anything else? Best RDA ever? OG Recoil.
That is my favourite. What's yours?
I haven't got a favourite.
Oh yeah.
It's all, I know it always, it always sounds like I'm really pissing out, but it just depends on how I want to. I keep meaning to bring out the Velocity V2 again because I've not used that for ages, and I love that so much.
Yeah, I keep that on the Bonner.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, love that.
Very nice. Maybe I'll have to do like I'll have to. I kind of stole Nick's idea with the retro vaping at one point in time in a vlog, where I called it Back in Time or something, and I played "They're Going Back in Time" from Huey Lewis and the News. It's marvelous. I have to do that again, but with the Velocity. Do you both have the Freemax Mesh Pro yet? I've certainly not got it. You have?
Yeah, I've got it, and I've tried all the coils now. There's 3 because the mesh coils you get a single, a double, and a triple. And the double, in my opinion, is by far the best coil. So my recommendation is, and it is very, very good tank with those dual mesh. So my recommendation, if you're getting that or you've got that, stick to the dual mesh. Really, really good.
Gotcha. Jimmy Parker, are we having a beer? Are we going to have a drink at Fest together? Only if you are FaceTiming me at that particular point of having a beer, because A, I don't drink, and B, I'm not going to Fest. So
yeah, we will FaceTime you.
Right. I think we're maybe coffee. There he says. Yeah. Once again, you'll have to FaceTime me on that one anyway. But I think that's all good. I think we're going to finish up now. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover or talk about before we finish tonight, sir?
No, I think that's I think that's it all.
Okay, so pimp out your channel and your Thursday night fun.
Oh yeah, on a Thursday, I do the Ideal Home Show. I took Dean's place actually. I was the substitute. I'm Todd's substitute tonight, and I was your substitute on a Thursday. The Ideal Home Show. Give that a little search if you've not seen that. Yeah, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. live, and on my channel, my main channel, my proper channel, is just Vaping V1CK. Just put Vaping V1CK into the search and have a little look if you like.
Marvelous. So I'm sure most of you already know who Richard is, but if you haven't seen his channel, go and check him out. He's a lovely man, and has been doing this a long time. He's worked ever so hard and done a fantastic job improving the quality and the content of his videos. So I think you should all go and check him out immediately if you haven't done so already. Now I think that's about it. So yes, everyone's a winner. I keep thinking I'm forgetting something, but I think we've covered everything tonight. So on that note, thank you very much for watching Monday Night Live, as always. Sorry I missed one last week. It was just far too hot up here. It's ridiculous. And as you can see, I don't cope with the heat overly well because I'm a porker. And we are 30 degrees in here now. So that's
how is it getting hotter?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? But thank you very much. If you do want to support the channel, I do completely unbiased reviews, obviously. I go ahead, and there is my Patreon links in the description. I don't think they're in the description of this video quite yet, but they will be. But you can do that, or you can go across to the PayPal me link in there as well if you just wanted to do a one-off contribution for helping me produce content. There will be. I've been working on the review for the Vicious Ant DNA 75C. That took some filming in a field for my B-roll on that one, so that one's fun.
That's a lovely mod.
So we'll get that one going, but there will be some more live reviews just to clear out a bit of the queue. There will be more content coming out, and jobs are good. But there we go. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next week. Do you want to do the cloud out this evening? God. I'm not going to mess you about like I do with you. So,
shall I do it with this new thing?
Go on then. Do it with the new thing. Right. Hey?
What's the trigger word? What's my cue?
Well, you know how I finish off videos, so you've got to gauge yourself. So thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next time, and make sure you go out there and you vape safely and you vape responsibly, and you do a damn good job representing vaping and everything we are. And all right, go on this time. Make sure you go. I mean, no.